Yeah. What's on, everyone, and welcome back to the Cornish Ox channel. Today things get really serious. We are going to start stripping the 330D donor car. So we're going to strip the complete front end off. We are going to literally drop it from the subframe down. We're not going to try and pull the engine and box out in one. We're just going to strip the whole thing, take it all down. The reason for that is this will all fit straight into my chassis, so it'll actually make it a lot easier when we do the swap. So we've got a pit underneath as well, so it's much easier for me to get underneath it, undo all the prop shaft bolts, disconnect it from the gearbox, do all the gear linkage, fuel lines, all that sort of stuff from underneath. And then we're going to come up top and we're going to start working from the top down. Hopefully by the end of the day, this lump will be out. So let's not waste any time and let's get back into it. Right then, there's a saying, if in doubt, flat out. Well, I can tell you now, I was in no doubt of the mission required of getting this engine out, and I definitely went flat out. So naturally, the first job is just to work methodically around the car, disconnecting everything that ties the engine to the shell. Coolant hoses, wiring, fuel lines, steering, gear linkage, the list is endless. But it's painstakingly got to be removed before I can even think about removing this subframe and engine. But to be fair, the first few hours went by really well. Bolt after bolt came loose, everything was disconnecting nicely, and for a while I generally thought this was probably going to be one of those jobs that just worked. So at this point we're getting closer and closer to lifting the whole assembly out. Everything underneath was nearly free, and I was already imagining the engine sitting on the workshop floor. But you know what they say, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Boom, rightio. That's pretty much all of the top done. Front end's off, intercooler pipes, power steering. We're going to convert my E91 Touring, because it's already electric steering. We're going to do away with the power steering pump, which is obviously, it runs on a separate pulley here and here. So we're going to do away with that belt, so we get away with it. So we're going to keep it electric steering. The steering rack bolt is out. So pretty much now I've got to go underneath, got to do the prop shaft, gearbox mounts, fuel lines. And that's, I think, fingers crossed, I think that's pretty much it, and then we can drop her down. And that then is the front end, or the front subframe and engine out. Unfortunately though, this is where things started to go south. That is actually now snapped off inside the subframe. Excellent. So that's no good. Okay then, so here we are, we're on day 2 now of stripping this donor. So typically in Cornish Ox style, I spent 2 hours stripping the front end. Pretty much we're ready to go. I hit a bit of a snag. The brace bar bolts have swollen and like rotted out basically. So I didn't have my angle grinder with me, so I've had to stop yesterday and go and get some, go get my angle grinder this morning. Also on that, I was recording with my GoPro and my head cam. However, I had the angle completely wrong. So you can't even see anything I was working on. So I spent 2 hours stripping said car and you can't see nothing. So today we are going to focus on getting that and all the subframe out. We're going to focus on getting the rear subframe out, and then we're going to focus on stripping the interior out as well. So hopefully by today, we're going to be done, dusted, and the shell can go to the scrapyard. It's donated all of itself to make sure that my Touring can carry on the road, bit more power, and we can fully send it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we've got a bit of light now. So here you can see the one subframe bolt there. I've got one just under there, that's all swollen as well. So obviously to get access to the subframe, I'm gonna have to cut it sort of here and here, so I can get to that subframe bolt up in there. This one's off, so that's not too bad. I've got these two, I've got that one and that one to come off yet. But otherwise, as you can see it's pretty swollen. I can't quite get my socket on it because the outer side's all swollen there, so we have to get that off. But yeah, gearbox linkage is all off, as you can see. Exhaust mounts off, props off at the back, so the prop bolts are all off. So then we just got to go all the way to the back, take the exhaust off, all the way through, and then start working on the rear subframes. Right then, let's get cutting. Cut. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Let's go, let's go. Yeah. High bar. Go off. Beauty. Success. We have the frame off. So I've actually had to chop the bolt off as well. So now I can get access to the rear subframe bolts. Obviously I've had to chop this end off as well, but now I can get access to the rear subframe bolt. So now, as you can see, fuel lines off, earth straps off. Let's get this subframe and box and everything else connected to it. Let's get it down. One. Then we got this side. Transfer this baby down. Oh. Out. Bit of a snag. Okay. Bit of a snag, a little bit of a snag. So I have taken off, you can see it just there. I have taken off that steering column bolt there, but I think I'm going to take it off from this one here, just to make it a little bit easier. So let's get on and do that. Ooh. think. Yes! More. Oh, that worked pretty well. There. Okay, so the gearbox is dragging on the floor, but that's all right. This is hard work on your own, man. This is hard work on your own. Yes, there we go. Well, isn't that a sight? 3 litre inline 6 194 brake horsepower engine just sat on my mate's floor waiting to go into my touring. To be fair, it can hold its head high because it put up some hell of a fight, but in the end perseverance definitely paid off. Okay, 330D lump removed. That's the whole front end gone now, so now we can start to focus on getting the rear end out. That should be fairly more straightforward, I think. So I had a few snags on here. Obviously this isn't a 335, but somebody's put a 335 exhaust on it. Let me just show you quickly. I've obviously had to cut the exhaust off there and from the downpipe. That doesn't matter too much for this side because I've ordered a stainless steel one. So I've got a stainless steel DPF sort of delete thing coming for this. So I didn't really mind cutting that. But obviously where somebody's fitted the 335 exhaust, they welded it to the downpipe. So I had to cut that off. Steering rack, it didn't come loose from the bottom bolt. I had to take from the top bolt. But otherwise, buzzing. It is out. And honestly, what a lump that is. That is such a lump. So now we're going to go and we're going to move this out the way because obviously this is my friend's workshop. So we're going to move this out the way, make it a bit more tidier for him. And then we're going to jack the back up a bit higher, get back down into the pit, and then we're going to attack the rear subframe. So let's go. Okay, quick little look at the rear subframe then. She is a bit crusty, but it's not. Oh, hang on. She's a bit crusty, but she isn't bad. So what I'm going to do is when I take this out, I'm going to wire wheel it and give it a quick lick of paint. I think I'm going to get it all done. So yeah, she's a bit crusty, not as bad as BMWs go. But however, brake cables are off. I've had to cut the brake lines because the hard lines were spitting, so I've had to cut the brake lines. Exhaust is off, props off. So now it is a case of subframe bolt, subframe bolt, subframe bolt, subframe bolt, subframe bolt, and subframe bolt. And then go up the top, take the rear shocks down, and then the subframe is out. Get on. So not only is the car putting up a fight, but it looks like the GoPro is too. I've got grease on the screen, I didn't realise. One, two, and we're over here. Three. I was worried about that one. Oh no, this one's even worse. Okie dokie. Come on, baby. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so that one's rotted out. That one's rotted out. Brilliant. Oh, isn't that just perfect? Look at that. Rounded off a beauty. I have no idea how I'm going to get that out. Not a Scooby. Well, time to call the wizard, I reckon. Here we go then. So the bolt's out. Just needed a little bit more gentle persuasion on it. And I went a bit too gun-ho with the gun, so rounded the nut off. But the wizard come down, which is the mate Ging, the one you've seen in the last video. Beat a smaller bolt over it and off she went. So now we're ready to go. All the subframe, we've just got to put the jack underneath it now, under the rear diff. Jack it up, take the weight, drop the suspension nuts, drop the other two subframe nuts, and she's coming down. So let's go. Now you can be forgiven for thinking this car's finished putting up its battles, but trust me, wait, there's more. Okay, it's not playing ball. Oi, don't be doing that. You've just fucking done it. Okie dokie. What I need to do now is find out which one's lefty, which way is lefty loosey. That way. What have you been like that for? Fantastic. That's not coming off either. Brilliant. Another one coming off. Fantastic. Every bolt. Just fighting me every fucking step of the way. Right. Grinder out again. happy, all of them out. Fuck. I'm done sensors. Shit. That definitely will come down. Perfect. Ta-da! Honestly, the relief I felt when this subframe came out. This car has put up a hell of a fight every single step of the way, and for this to come out on the floor, that means the donor has finally done its job. So that has been an incredibly busy day. We got the front subframe with the gearbox and the engine, all the brakes, suspension, etc. That's all out. I'll then flip you around. We've got all the interior out, front seats, rear seats. I've still got to do the door cards, but we can come back to that. And then finally, after a bit of persuasion, we got the rear subframe out as well over there. So that's the car stripped. That is the donor car stripped. As you can see, there isn't really a lot left. Go underneath it. It's all dropped and taken out. So yeah, busy day, but I'm so stoked because finally this is really the turning point for the Nürburgring project, the E91. You know, we got the heart, we got the rear. You know, it's only taken me 2 days, so fingers crossed, putting it back in, it's going to be a lot easier. So if you've enjoyed this content and you've enjoyed seeing me sweating, all right, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like, it doesn't cost you anything, it's free, it helps me build. Subscribe to the channel and watch me get this engine back in on the next episode.